When I was a little kid, we'd always open our Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve. And then the next morning, we still had to go and do our chores before we could play with those gifts and play with the toys that we got on Christmas Eve. So it was always tough the next morning to wake up and then have to go out and do something before you could play with your new toys. And that is kind of the situation I'm in right now in the wood yard. I have the new toy covered up over there. We might be having some rain coming in. But before I continue playing with the new toy, there's a few things I need to do and take care of. And one of them involves something that a lot of you have been asking me, what is going to happen to the Wolfe Ridge? What am I going to do with the Wolfe Ridge log splitter? So what I'm going to do with the Wolfe Ridge right now is I have a few leftover big chunks over here on this platform. There's like 5, 6 of them. One of them is this great big double barrel crotch off an elm tree. There's another one right there. So I'm just going to quick run through these 5, 6 pieces, break them down with a single wedge into some good sized boiler wood. And then when I'm all done with that, I will answer those questions on what is going to happen to the Wolfe Ridge log splitter. Comes the big boy. Man, this elm stinks. Ugh. Now you may be wondering why I didn't run these rounds through the 37D, why I have that machine and then I'm using my old machine. But the rounds were over here, so instead of moving them all the way over there and then switching out the wedges, because I don't think I would have wanted to run some of that big snarly stuff through the box wedge. Instead of switching the wedges out just for these 5 pieces and then having to put the box wedge back in, I figured it would just be easier, since they're over here, to run them through the Wolfe Ridge, and then that would also give me the opportunity to address the questions I've been getting through comments, emails, text messages, people wondering, what am I going to do with this log splitter? And the answer is, I will be keeping this splitter right where it's at, just for the purpose of stuff like this. Some of the bigger, snarlier stuff, sometimes I might be in a situation where, like today, I had the box wedge in, I have some wood that I want to run through the box wedge. Some of this bigger, snarly, uneven cut stuff wouldn't be good for the box wedge. So it's one of those cases where, you know, it gets back to, I've talked about this before, knowing what wood to put through what wedge. And now, if I am running nice clean wood through the box wedge, and I have some snarly stuff, I can just set that aside and either wait until I switch out the wedges, or if there's only a couple pieces like today, 4 or 5 of them, bring them over here to the Wolfe Ridge. So the other thing is I'm still getting wood from Rick. I'm still getting tree service wood dropped off. So there is always that potential of having some bigger, snarlier crotch pieces that, you know, just wouldn't, if I'm running one wedge on the 37D, I might want to just leave those aside. And there's always the possibility that I might actually use the Wolfe Ridge and the 37D in tandem together to do some jobs that you'll see coming up here. So yes, I will be keeping the Wolfe Ridge. No plans on selling it, no plans on getting rid of it. I've always been that kind of guy. Like, I still have t-shirts from back when I was in high school. Like, I don't let go of things very easily. I like to hang on to stuff and keep it around because you never know. So that answers that question about the Wolfe Ridge. Now, there may be more questions and other questions that many of you have. So tune in tomorrow night for Friday Night Live, where we will address more questions and we'll talk more of the 37D, and we'll just discuss whatever else comes up as we kick off the weekend and kick back and have a good time on Friday Night Live, the live stream right here, 8 p.m. Central. We'll see you tomorrow night.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night.